If we were starting social media for our business in 2026, the first thing we would not do is start posting. And that might sound strange because posting is what business owners jump into immediately. But over the last 15 plus years, launching and growing businesses and global brand accounts, generating over 1 billion impressions and views, scaling accounts past 100,000 followers, and tying social directly to revenue, we've seen the same pattern repeat. Business owners start at the visible part, right? Content, reels, trends, captions. Meanwhile, the foundation underneath hasn't been built. And when you build in the wrong order, you don't notice the leak right away. You just know you're working hard without seeing the return. And that's where your months get wasted and your confidence quietly gets crushed. So today, we're walking you through the exact order we would build social media from scratch, whether you're starting fresh or resetting, because the order matters more than most people realize. And when you get it right, everything else starts to flow and grow. Let's dive in.
So here's the first step. Before you create a single post, before you choose a platform, before you even think about content, you need to decide what job social media is responsible for in your business. And we mean that literally. Open a document or get out your notebook. Write this question right at the top. What job is social media supposed to do for my business? Not what platform, not what content style, not how often you should post, but what is its responsibility? For us, social media builds authority. It demonstrates that we've been working in this industry for over 15 years, nearly 20 in my case, and it feeds, man, it makes you feel old, eh? Jeez. And it feeds directly into our client work and education offers. That clarity informs everything we create. But for you, it might look a little different. If you run, say, a product-based business, your business goal might be increase online sales by 25% this year. And then your social media objective would be drive qualified traffic to your product pages. If you're providing a service, your business goal could be to book 10 new clients per month. And your social media objective is position yourself as the go-to expert in your city to generate consistent inquiries. For some companies we've worked with, the business goal was just hiring. So their social media objective wasn't sales at all. It was showcasing culture to attract the talent. Now, when you skip this step, you just make content an activity instead of a strategy. You're posting, but you're not building toward anything specific. And that's when social media starts to feel heavy or wasteful because it's not really connected to your business. This only works if you're clear on your business goal first. And remember, social media is there to support the business, not become the business. So your structure should look like this. Business goal leads to social media objective, which leads to your content strategy. That, my friends, is the order. Inside our free social media strategy template, we actually give you a section to write this out super cleanly, including your objective, related business goal, and how you'll measure it. Because once that's defined, your content decisions get a lot easier. And we'll link that template below if you want to map this out properly. And once you're clear on what social media is responsible for, there's a second decision that most business owners avoid, and it requires a little bit of honesty. Let's talk about it next.
Once you're clear on what social media is responsible for, there's a second decision, and as Craig mentioned, requires some honesty. You need to decide, are you going to manage this yourself, or are you going to outsource some of it or all of it? Because social media only works when someone is consistently responsible for it. Now, here's what we believe. With the right system and guidance, most small business owners can manage their own social media. That includes strategy, content creation, publishing, community management. It is absolutely possible, but possible doesn't automatically mean practical. So the real question becomes, are you willing to commit to it? Because if social media is important enough to impact your revenue, credibility, your hiring, your authority, then it deserves real ownership. And there are 3 common paths we've seen over the last decade of running our agency. The first is the DIY with structure. So you manage it yourself, but with systems, templates, or consulting and training. We do that very often where we're supporting supporting someone as they manage social on their own. The second is hybrid support. So you own social media management, but you outsource another part. So the most common is business owners taking care of ideation and publishing, but outsourcing content creation or editing. And then there's full service. That's what our agency does. That's our main agency work.
Yes.
You hand it off entirely, usually to a social media manager or to an agency. So for example, if YouTube is your primary platform, maybe you film the videos, of course you script, but you hire an editor, and many of our clients work that way because video editing is a larger task.
Yes.
If content creation feels like a true bottleneck for you though, you can bring someone in monthly or quarterly to batch and edit content for you. Maybe you even ideate together and then you're the one that's publishing it and they're just kind of handing it off in a package to you. If you have budget and want to be completely hands off, you can just hire a team to run the entire machine. Budget plays a role, but honesty in what you want to do plays a bigger one, because here's what doesn't work. Saying social media matters and knowing it matters, but never deciding who's responsible for it and how it actually gets done. So before you move forward, decide, who owns this? Is it me with a system and support, or is it someone else? And once that decision is made, the next step will become so much more clear.
Now that you know what social media is responsible for and you've decided who owns it, step 3 is choosing the platforms that actually make sense for your goals. And this is where a lot of business owners waste their effort. They try to be everywhere, on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, you name it. And what ends up happening is it isn't really expanding your reach. It's just watering down the quality. Average effort across multiple platforms almost always underperforms focused effort on one platform. So here's what we'd do. Choose one primary platform and one secondary platform. Master the first, repurpose to the second. That's it. Most of the businesses you see doing well follow that pattern. YouTubers grow YouTube first, then their audience naturally looks for them on, say, Instagram. TikTok creators build traction, then repurpose their strongest content off to Instagram. Or this happens vice versa, where you're big on Instagram and then decide to move to YouTube or to TikTok. So, how do you choose which social media platform makes the most sense for you? You just got to answer these questions. Who are you trying to reach right now? And you got to be specific. What are they searching for? What kind of content are they already consuming? What do you want social media to accomplish in the next 6 to 12 months? Say, is it to build credibility and authority, generate leads and inquiries, direct product sales, community growth? And just as important, what format feels most sustainable and natural for you? Is it quick talking videos, long form teaching, written posts, process-based visuals? Whatever it might be, because if the format feels unnatural, it'll be hard for you to be consistent and you'll want to remove that friction. Then you connect your goal, your audience, and your format, and then all of that goes to the platform. So if your goal is authority and you enjoy teaching long form, YouTube is probably your best bet. If your goal is to, say, have product discovery for your art, Instagram may be the best primary platform. And for most businesses, Instagram always works as a primary or secondary platform because it's one of the largest, so there's a natural audience there which supports visibility and, of course, most importantly, search.
Now, here's what we've seen over and over again. A business chooses a platform, they open the account, they start posting, but underneath there's a leak. People land on your profile and they hesitate. They're not sure who it's for, they're not sure what's being offered, and they're not sure what to do next. So they leave, no comment, no DM, no inquiry, just gone. And that's where real opportunities are lost. If people aren't clear on what to do next, they don't act. And when they don't act, your growth stalls. That's why after choosing your platforms, the next step is optimizing your profiles properly. So it's immediately clear who you are, what you do, and how someone should move forward. If you've watched our channel for a while, you already know how serious we are about this step.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly why we built something new.
I'm excited.
As you know, for years, Craig and I have walked business owners through this profile setup one-on-one, explaining how to choose the right platform, how to structure their profile, how to make it clear in seconds. We've reviewed hundreds of accounts across industries, have seen the same friction points, and have answered the same questions. So after seeing where the same confusion shows up again and again with them, we finally packaged up the whole process.
Oh, did we ever?
It is called the Social Media Starter Kit.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we're releasing a step-by-step system like this in depth for the public. And it is so long overdue, but it's here.
We got it done.
So inside, Craig and I walk you through everything on video, platform by platform, so you're not guessing. You'll know what your profile should say, what to upload and where, how to guide someone to the next step, and the goal is simple. You walk away, set up properly, clear, professional, and confident.
Inside the Social Media Starter Kit, you'll get video modules where we guide you through full profile setup across the major platforms, a platform decision workbook so you choose where to focus based on your goals and your audience. We also give you simple bio formulas and a guided AI prompt so your bio clearly explains what you do and what to do next. We include a profile prep document so all your copy and assets live in just one simple organized place, and a social content format guide so everything you upload looks polished and intentional. If this is what you need, the Social Media Starter Kit is linked below. We're for real, extremely proud of this one and genuinely excited to share it with you all.
100%. Now that your platform is chosen and your foundation is clear, now we build your content strategy in 4 main phases. So as we've discussed, social media has a job in your business. Your content should support that job, but that doesn't mean every post needs to sell something. It means every post should have a purpose. So first part of this, go back to the document where you wrote down your social media objective and now add 3 things: what you sell, how someone buys, and your main revenue streams. Write this all down clearly. Now, for example, if you're a service provider and you sell one-on-one packages, people book through a call, for example, revenue is coming from long-term clients. Your content then should build trust, show your thinking, answer common questions, and help someone feel confident booking. If you're a product-based brand, so you sell online, people buy through your website, revenue comes from launches and restocks, your content should create desire, educate on quality, show the product in use, and remind people when to buy. And if you run a local service business, for example, you book appointments, revenue comes from repeat clients, your content should show results, build familiarity, and make booking simple.
Yes.
Do you notice something? Some posts build reach, some build trust, some build depth, and some drive sales. You need all 4. If your content doesn't connect back to how your business grows, it might get attention, but it will not serve your goals.
For the second part of this content strategy development, we bring structure through content pillars. Now, content pillars are simply your core topics that you talk about. They help you decide what you talk about and why. So, for example, a nutritionist might have healthy meals made simple, nutrition myths explained, and client transformations. And here's how you make content creation and ideation easier on yourself. Attach formats to your pillars. For example, healthy meals, quick how-to videos. Nutrition myths, talking head videos. Client stories could be carousels. Now, every week, you're not guessing. You're rotating through structure. That removes decision fatigue, and when decision fatigue drops, consistency rises. If building pillars feels overwhelming, we've linked our free content pillar blueprint below to help you map this out properly.
Now in the third phase, once your pillars are defined, you want to start brainstorming intentionally. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? Or try to come up with wild new ideas. Just look at what's already working and think about how you can apply that to yourself. So look at businesses that already serve your target audience, search for the business keywords that are related to you directly on the platform that you're working on, like whatever social media platform there is always a search bar there where you can enter keywords and see what comes up. That'll let you know once you start studying what's getting a ton of views, shares, and comments. You also want to look at the topics, look at the titles, look at thumbnails, hooks. You'll want to get validation for whatever content you're putting out. And one key plug here is right now, founder-led content is performing very well. So understanding that, take a look at businesses and brands that are founder-led and see how they are appearing in content and what you can borrow for your own content strategy. It's not about copying, and it's not about copying trends blindly. You just want to study patterns, then adapt them to your business and your voice. And once you feel more comfortable with creating content that you already know has some level of proof of concept in that people are resonating with the style and the topics, then you can layer in experimentations. So you have a majority of your content being consistent and steady for your audience, and then you throw in something that could just pop off and be a hit. For all the ideas you have, write them down in the same document we've been discussing, or save them wherever you know you can easily keep adding ideas to and coming back to.
Then for the fourth phase of this content strategy development, you want to choose a posting rhythm or schedule. And this is really where you decide how often you show up and how. So is it going to be one long form video per week, 2 short form videos, or all carousels? Be realistic about what you can produce and then block the time out on your calendar, because consistency relies on having a structure and a system that helps you follow through. And we talked about this in our video on how to stay consistent, and the copy and paste system you can steal, which we'll link below. Now, there's something important that separates people who grow from the people who start on social media and stop, then start again and then stop. Let's talk about that next.
The next thing we do if we were starting our social media accounts over again as business owners is protect everything we just built. So we've got clarity now, right, on strategy, but now we need to make sure consistency doesn't fade if motivation does. That's the key to discipline in all areas of life, and discipline is a result of your habits. So here's what we would commit to. 1, we would keep social at the forefront, not obsessively, but intentionally. So this means batching content before you run out so you're not creating under pressure, blocking time out to film, blocking time to write, blocking time to schedule. When you batch, you reduce stress. And when you reduce stress, you show up better. And when you show up better, people can feel that. Then we would be staying educated. So if you decide that you're going to own your social media, you want to stay sharp. You don't need to chase every update, but you should understand what formats are working, what hooks are strong, what are the platforms prioritizing right now. Consume educational content weekly, study intentionally, and stay aware. That's how you grow with the platform instead of feeling behind it. And then we would show up in stories regularly. So feeds, they grow reach, but stories grow relationships. Stories are where a connection deepens. So you don't need to overshare, okay? And you don't need to perform. You don't need to feel like you're doing this whole thing in stories, but a consistent presence builds familiarity, and familiarity builds trust.
And number 4, you want to check your insights weekly. Look at the data. What's getting shares or saves, comments, follows, profile visits? Patterns matter. And if something consistently performs well, do more of it. If something repeatedly underperforms, adjust. This removes guesswork, so you're not relying on vibes. You're using information. And here's what all this really comes down to. Not worrying about going viral, not worrying about posting every day or being on every platform. It's getting the foundation down and clarity around what you're doing and why you're doing it, so you can build confidence and know that what you're doing will actually make an impact.
Exactly. Now, if we were starting social media from scratch again as business owners, which I think we will again for other businesses of
sure.
our own, like that's going to happen.
It's a matter of time.
Let me tell you what we would not be doing. We would not just start by posting, all right? We would define the job, decide ownership, choose the right platform, build the foundation, create a strategy, and then install habits in that order. Because when you build in the right sequence, growth stops feeling hectic and it starts feeling earned. And if you want help building that foundation properly so your profile is clear, professional, and built to convert, the social media starter kit we talked about is linked below. It's the guided setup Craig and I wish more business owners had, and now you do. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like or a comment below to let us know that this helped you. A playlist is popping up here with resources we think you should watch to grow this year. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.